good morning, everyone. I'm Beth. This is my lovely assistant, Sunday. We are bringing you your Saturday 9 a.m. intermediate class. And before we get started, I just wanted to take a second to let you guys know what to expect in class today. Today, we are working on some longer holds. So all of the poses that we're doing this morning are going to be simple poses that are familiar to you. The challenge is that we're going to be holding them for 10 breaths or longer. So be on the lookout for that. We're kind of working with a theme today of, thank you, Sunday, of waiting, especially waiting under uncomfortable circumstances because of all we've had going on recently in the world. So we're just going to practice being in those times of discomfort and trying to find a little sense of ease within them. So we're going to start standing up today, so everyone can go ahead and stand up and come to the top of your yoga mat. And we'll start in Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So we want to take our feet about as wide apart as the bones of our hips and stand up nice and tall so that the hips stack over the heels, the rib cage over the hips, and then the head right over the shoulders, with the arms by the sides, palms face forward. Let your eyes be closed here so that you can tune into your breath. The rise and fall of your heart. As you breathe, take a scan of the body, noticing anywhere that tension might be pulled, usually in your jaw or your shoulders. And see if with every exhale, you can let go a different area of the body. Allowing yourself to arrive fully on your yoga mat. Notice the soles of your feet everywhere they make contact with the mat. Bring your hands to the heart center so they're at prayer. Enjoy this moment, the space of stillness. Release the arms down by the sides and let the eyes flutter open. As you inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, swan dive forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. And then inhale, rise back up to stand, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Once again, inhale, arms up, eyes up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. And then inhale, rise up to stand, fingertips reaching up to the sky. This time, interlace the fingers at the top. Press the palms up to the sky. Exhale, lean over to the left, stretching out the right side rib. Inhale back through center, and then exhale to the opposite side. Inhale through center, once more to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale through the center once more. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And this time, place your hands on the mat. Step back to plank at the top of your push-up. Hold your plank nice and steady. And today, instead of lowering all the way down, we're going to take our vinyasas a little bit different. We're going to lower first down onto the left forearm, placing the elbow underneath the shoulder, and then lower down on the right so that you find yourself in a low plank. Exhale, lower the knees to the earth, followed by the chest. Draw the fingertips back by the rib cage. Inhale, lift the heart up for cobra. And exhale, release down. Inhale floats you back up to plank. And on the exhale, send your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. This first down dog is yogi's choice. You can take whatever movements you like here. Maybe bicycle out your legs. Maybe nod your head yes and then no. I'll give you a few breaths here to make it your own. And then everybody inhale. Look up at the space in between your hands. On the exhale, walk, step, or jump your feet to the top of the mat so you're back in your forward fold. As you inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer. A little more quickly this time. Inhale, arms up, eyes up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step back to plank, the top of the push-up. This time, lower down your right forearm first, followed by the left. Exhale, release the knees, followed by the chest. Draw the fingertips back. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Exhale, down. Inhale, up to plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So this down dog is going to be our first long hold this morning. So check in with your form first. Make sure that the shoulder blades are moving towards your back hip pockets, so they're moving away from your ears. Make sure all the knuckles of your fingers are rooted into the mat, so the wrists don't have to bear so much weight. Send that tailbone a little higher up towards the sky so that the spine can get extra long. And then breathe. As you inhale, look up in between your hands. Draw your right foot only through to plant between the hands. And then release your back knee down to the earth so that you can rise up into a low crescent. Arms up to the sky. Nice. So as you inhale, let this left arm stretch forward for a little length. Bring that left hand to the earth. Reach the right arm up to the sky, and you'll find yourself here in a crescent twist. Now, I'll give you two options for this twist. You can stay right here where you are, but if you want to add a little challenge to it, you might try floating this back foot up off the earth and reaching around to take a hold of that back foot or ankle, accentuating the twist. steady the breath. And then inhale back through the center, releasing that back knee down. Curl the back toe under, lift it up off the earth, and step back to your downward facing dog. Pause. Notice the difference from one side to the other. And now let's work on this opposite leg. Inhale brings that left foot through, it plants between the hands. Release the right knee to the earth and rise up for a low crescent on this side. If your shoulders start creeping up towards your ears, make sure that you're releasing them back down so the shoulder blades stay folded like bird's wings. And then stretch this right arm forward. Bring the right hand down to the mat. Left arm reaches up to the sky. And once again, this is a great stopping point. But if you need a little bit more, maybe the back foot is going to pop up. So you can twist a little deeper. Go ahead and release the foot if it's clasped. Come back through the center. As you exhale, bring your hands to the earth. Step back to plank, the top of the push-up. Exhale the hips up to downward facing dog. And then inhale, look up at the space in between your hands. Exhale, let the feet travel to the hands. Once again for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. And then inhale, rise all the way up to stand, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Nice. Inhale, arms up, eyes up. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, step back to plank, the top of your push-up. So this high plank is going to be our next long hold. So everybody make sure that your hands are right underneath those shoulders, that you're sending some weight out through your heels. If your head is jutting forward, so your chin is kind of sticking out, retract the chin and the head just a little bit so that the neck and the head stay in line with the spine also. And wait. As you exhale, lower down first the right forearm, followed by the left. Drop the knees, followed by the chest. Pull the fingertips back. Inhale the heart up for cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale up to hands and knees. And then it's your choice, child's pose or downward facing dog. 3 breaths. From here, we'll meet up in our downward facing dog. Inhale, extend the right leg long behind you, reaching up towards the sky. As you exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow, foot in the shin, hover off the earth. Inhale, lift the leg long. Exhale, right knee across the body to the left elbow. Inhale the leg long. And this time, exhale, bring the foot all the way through to plant between the hands. So we're setting up for a high lunge this time. And once you've got your feet nice and secure where you can balance well, lift your heart, stretch it out long in front of you, and hover your fingertips just above the mat. our next long hold, runner's lunge. If you need to make it a little easier, you can put just a little more weight in your hands. And if you need to make it more challenging, then work to really keep those fingertips off the ground and the heart lifted, shoulders back. You get frustrated if you get discouraged. Listen to your breathing. Feel your yoga mat under your feet the way you did just at the beginning of class. Two more breaths in runner's lunge. And then as you inhale, everybody float up to crescent. You can take a break to straighten that front leg if you want. And then come back down to crescent. Let's take this one with our hands interlaced behind us in Venus Mudra. So you got the fingers there interlaced, heart shining up. And now let's take a high crescent twist. So right hand to right hip, inhale that left arm long. Bring the left fingertips down to the earth and stretch the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, brings the top hand down. Inhale, step back to downward facing dog. And now we'll prepare for the other side. So inhale, lift the left leg up high off the earth, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale the leg long. Exhale, left knee across the body to the right elbow. Inhale, long. And then exhale the foot all the way through to plant between the hands. Set up your feet. Balancing is going to be easier if they're not on a tightrope. So they're separated a little side to side like you're on railroad tracks. Hug this left hip back in the socket. And now let's lift the heart, hover the fingertips for our runner's lunge on this side. Enjoy the strength you have. Notice if tension builds in the jaw and the eyebrows. Soften that. Send the work back down to the hips. Two more breaths. And then inhale, rise up for your crescent lunge. We'll once again take the arms behind us, interlacing the fingers in Venus. Broaden the collarbones. Inhale, both arms up. Let's take our crescent twist on this side. Right arm reaches forward. Fingertips to the earth. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Both shoulders away from the ears so there's space in your neck. And then exhale that top hand down to the earth. This time we're going to inhale, step back up to the top of the mat so that we're all in a forward fold. And take just a moment here to release. In fact, let's all interlace our fingers here at the base of the skull, elbows out to the sides. And just relax. Let the arms and the neck go heavy. So you're using your own weight for a little traction here. Nice, release the arms. As you inhale, float halfway up. Exhale, release. And then inhale, rise all the way up to stand, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to prayer. We'll take a little shoulder opener here. So as you inhale, reach both arms overhead. Bend the right elbow, place the right palm here in between your shoulder blades. Use this left hand to apply some pressure on the right elbow. And be careful as you do this, you don't really want to come into a back bend, so don't be sticking your tailbone out. Instead, keep the spine nice and neutral. And then inhale, extend both arms. And we'll switch sides, bending the left elbow. And then exhale, release both arms down by the side. Inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your high plank, the top of the push-up. We're going to lower down first with our left forearm, followed by the right. So this is our long hold this time. It's the low plank. You have the option here to take it with the knees down on the earth if having the knees up is a little too much for you. So press firmly into the forearms and hold. And see what happens for you as discomfort arises. As you exhale, release the chest down to the earth. Draw the fingertips back by the rib cage. Inhale, lift the heart up. Exhale, release. Inhale up to hands and knees. And then your choice, child's pose or downward facing dog. 3 breaths. As you inhale, float up to hands and knees. Curl your toes under, exhale the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Now look back at your feet. Bring the roots of the big toes together so that your feet are a little closer than they normally would be in down dog. As you inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Bend that right knee so that you can open the right hip, stretching into 3-legged dog with a bent knee. Inhale, bring the leg back through neutral. Exhale, bring the foot in between the hands. Spiral the back heel to the earth. And then inhale up for a warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Use your hands to help shift the hips so that this front right hip tucks under. The back left hip pops up. Keep this front knee straight as you stretch long towards the front of your yoga mat. And then exhale into triangle pose. So let's everybody look down at that front big toe. And let your neck release just a little bit. Top of the shoulder opening. But still keeping the torso and the heart turned up towards the sky. Root through the back foot as you inhale, rise up to stand. Back arm to back thigh, opposite arm to the sky, reverse triangle. And then pinwheel your arms to face the front of the room. Lift that back heel and step back to your downward facing dog. Y'all hold down dog while I go let my assistant Sunday outside because she's making too much noise. Come here, baby. Come here, babies. Go outside. Go outside. She's very cute, but not very useful. Okay, so from your down dog, walk the toes close together once again. We're going to inhale, lift the left leg up off the earth. Bend the left knee this time, so you're stacking the left hip over the right, opening through the hips. And then bring the leg back through neutral. As you exhale, draw this left knee through to plant, left foot through to plant between the hands. Release the back heel and inhale up. Now you're in warrior two with the left foot forward. Inhale, straighten your front knee. Use the hands again to shift the hips as you set up for triangles. Left hip tucking under. Inhale, stretch long for the front of the mat. Exhale, triangle. And we'll once again take that bent elbow variation. Looking down at the earth. Press through the back foot as you inhale, rise up to stand. Reverse triangle. So as you exhale, pinwheel to face the front of the room. We're going to step back into plank, once again, the top of our push-up. And then we'll lower down into our low plank, lowering first the right forearm, followed by the left. Now drop the knees, followed by the chest. Draw the fingertips back towards the rib cage. Cobra is our long hold this time. So keep those toes planted firmly on the earth, pressing through the back toes. As you inhale, draw just the heart up off the earth. The elbows stay bent and they're pulling back in towards each other. Yeah. So you're not really pushing through the hands as much. You're letting the back do 90% of the work. The hands are just drawing slightly towards the end of the mat behind you. Just helping you draw the chest and the collarbones a little further forward. Inhale, lift just a little bit higher. And then exhale, release down to the earth. Inhale, press up to hands and knees. And for this child's pose, we're going to take our knees a little wider apart from side to side than we usually would. Let the toes point back in towards each other though. And then sink the hips towards the heels for your wide knee child's pose. Walk the hands out over to the left. So you're staying low in child's pose, just kind of shifting the torso out over that left thigh. Just stretching deeply down the right side. Inhale, walk the hands back through the center and then over to the right. Inhale back through center once more. Let's go ahead and come up to a seated position. With your feet planted on the earth so that your knees bend and point straight up to the sky. So the pose we're working on next is called boat pose. The most important thing in boat pose is that we keep our backs nice and flat, right? Stretching the heart up. So you don't want to be collapsing here. Right? You want everything to be nice and straight. So we're going to start with our hands on the backs of our thighs. And we're going to begin to tilt back. Back stays straight as we lift the feet up off the earth. Now if lifting the feet up causes you to collapse, that means you need to put them back down, make it a little bit easier so that you can keep the spine straight. Right? Some of you might like the more challenging option where you take the hands and stretch them out long in front of you. Right? As you exhale, release down, cross the legs, and then fold gently. Inhale, come back up to a seat. We're going to take a second boat pose. Yeah. So everyone's set up just the way they did before. Straighten the back. Yeah. And then hinge backwards, balancing on those sitting bones. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Come on down, and this time take the opposite cross of the legs as you forward fold. So inhale, come on back up. We're going to come into a kneeling position next. So, check it out. You want your knees to be as wide apart as your hips, right? So not like this, not like this. You want them right here underneath the hip bones, okay? For this first part, we're all going to curl our toes under here. And then we're going to lift the fingertips up to the sky. And I'd like you to imagine that from your knees all the way to your fingertips, you are straight as a board. Now there's a hinge right here at your knees because we're all going to hinge back, right? But nothing else along that line of our body is going to move. It's just the hinge at the knees. Yeah, so it doesn't take long to feel your core start to light up here. Okay, hold. And then inhale back up. Exhale, sit down for Virasana. We're going to try that again. If you have anything weird going on with your neck or with your lower back, I'd like you to practice that the way we just did, okay? Just the regular version. If everything is safe for you, and then as you come into this camel prep a second time, I'm going to give you the option to bring your hands to your back pockets. All right, elbows out behind you, and lift the heart a little bit higher. Inhale back up straight. And then sit back down for Virasana, hero pose. So we're going to practice camel a third time. If you like, you can practice one of the two ways that we just did. Or if you want to add a little bit of challenge, this time as you come back, you can release the arms and see if the heels are there. Right? Lift the heart up to the sky. And then option to lift the chin, extending the neck. Everybody inhale, rise back up. Sit back into hero pose. Turn your palms face up. A heart opener for courage. So when you're ready, bow over your bent knees, come into child's pose. Come in slowly, your spine is moving in the opposite direction it just was. And then come over onto a seat. And set up like we did just a moment ago for boat pose. So, we're going to take first a very easy forward fold with bent knees. So all you got to do is hinge forward at the hips the way you usually would over the bent knees, and take a hold of these outside edges of your feet. Right? Usually I ask you to keep your back flat. Today we're going to round the back for just a little bit more release. Okay? So we come into it with a flat back, and then we round once we're down. All right. So everybody inhale halfway out of this so that the back is flat once again. Keeping a hold of the feet, walk them out just an inch or two so that the legs get a little bit straighter. All right? Straighten that spine once again, and then from there it's safe to exhale and round down. Okay? Same thing again, inhale, lengthen, and then walk the heels out a little bit more. And you're going to keep doing this until you find that just right forward fold. And I don't care what it looks like, how bent the knees are going to be. I want this pose to be soothing, comforting, and calming. So if the knees got to bend to get you that sensation, the knees got to bend, y'all. And bow the head, deepen the breath. And find that sense of ease. As you inhale, lengthen up with a flat back. And then slowly walk yourself back up to a seat. Straighten the legs here and pat out the knees. And then scoot your hips forward slightly so that you can release all the way down onto your back. Windshield wipers, ease from side to side. And then take your right ankle and cross it high over your left thigh. So you're making a figure 4 here. Use the hands to draw this left thigh in towards the body. Hugging the shape in. Thanking the hips and the glutes for all the work that they've done so far today. And then keep the legs crossed, but let the left foot come down. Use your left hands to take a hold of this top ankle. And slowly let this whole shape collapse over to the left so that you're coming into a twist. As you inhale, softly unwind. Draw the knees into the chest, here at neutral, so legs uncrossed. Return the feet to the earth and cross this left ankle over the right thigh. And draw the thigh in for your sleeping pigeon on this side. Let the right foot come down to the earth. Use the right hand to take a hold of the left foot as you release this shape over to the right. And as you sink into this twist, take another scan of the body, looking for anywhere that you're still holding tension. And use every exhale as an opportunity to let a different area go. And it's okay if you have to return to the same area time and again. Just keep exhaling and keep letting go. So unwind the legs, draw them back in towards the chest once more. Bring the arms in between the thighs, reaching around for the outside edges of the feet. Press the soles of the feet up towards the sky for happy baby. And then as you exhale, release down into Shavasana, your final resting pose. And so y'all go ahead and lie down flat on the mat. I'm going to dim the lights here in the video while y'all rest. One more big inhale in, everybody together. Fill the lungs as full as you can. And then exhale, release. And I invite you for a moment, body, heart, and mind, to rest.